So today we have a guest again. You've met her before, Melissa.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I can't wait to have this conversation. So I've seen that you are looking for information on how to make money online in Ghana. So that's what we are going to talk about today. And but you know, online is not localized, so it's not just Ghana. We'll generally talk about making money online. With that said, we are going to try to insert a few things about Ghana which are relevant to Ghana. Melissa works online, 100% online. So do I. When it comes to my clients, I usually meet them once after we are done with the book. So that's my publishing clients.
That's so good.
You know, no, like
That is really good.
I mean, not always. Not always. Sometimes I don't meet them because we are in London right now. But I met Melissa in Ghana when I was there working on the roof. Was it a roof or?
Yeah, the rooftop.
It's
Yeah.
on the rooftop. That sounds.
Lounge area.
That sounds so like digital nomad.
Yeah.
I was working and Melissa was working as well. I think you were having a conversation with someone, one of your staff members or your client. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
So it was someone who booked a secret sales strategy meeting with me. So it was a consultation. Let's say.
Okay, it was a consultation, and I was eavesdropping. So I was writing and eavesdropping just a little bit, but that's just because, you know, what she was sharing was so valuable. I just fell in love with what she was saying, and I just knew she spoke my language. So then I approached her, and we connected, and we are here.
Exactly. The power of connection.
Exactly. Already one very important thing, like you have to be open to connections.
Yeah, definitely.
Despite the fact that, you know, you're trying to do things online, you will meet people in real life. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you so you can introduce yourself and just tell the people what you do.
Okay. So should I hold it? Okay.
Close to you.
Okay. So hi guys, my name is Melissa and I live in Ghana. I was a teacher before moving to Ghana, a secondary school teacher. I taught textiles and product design. And when I visited Ghana for the first time in 2019, I fell in love with it. And usually when I go on holiday, 7 days was all I needed, and I would go back to my routine. I would not want to be anywhere for more than 7 days. But when I traveled to Ghana, I thought, wow, I need to be here longer.
Wow.
So the fact that I had to leave and I didn't have the freedom to say, okay, I can extend my stay, kind of made me think, okay, let's get whatever's blocking me from being able to have that freedom out of the way. So
Was it financial?
no, it was the fact that I had to go to work.
Oh yeah. So it was financial.
Yeah, well, it's
In a
more
way.
like a commitment. It's my professional
Yeah.
commitment. So the fact that I had to go back to work because it's during the Easter holidays, I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to hand in my notice so that I can do supply teaching, which means I can work when I want to work and where I want to work. And that meant that I could travel to Ghana in December, and if I wanted to extend my stay, I could. So that time when I went in December, I stayed for 2 weeks. I then returned again in February, and it just unlocked that freedom for me. And some people a lot of people said to me, why would you leave teaching? It's a secure job. Why would you leave it? And I remember saying that I can teach anywhere. I can do anything. Like I can do supply teaching. That's still going to bring in money. And when I tell you I was making more money doing supply teaching than I was as a full-time teacher, and that gave me the financial freedom, and access to financial freedom and to understanding what freedom felt like. Just the fact that I could, just a little bit,
You
yeah,
didn't have to be at work full time.
exactly.
I
And
get
if I
it.
woke up in the morning, I thought, you know what, I don't want to work today. If my agent called me and said that there's a school that needs a teacher, oh no, I'm not free today. That was it. There's no, oh, can you please? No, I'm not free today.
So how
That's
did
it.
you transition, so that we stay true to the topic, how did you transition from that little bit of freedom to online, to making money online?
Okay, so how that happened was, I've always had thanks for the reminder. I've always had the skill and the knowledge in terms of social media marketing and business development especially.
Okay, cool.
So even though I was a full-time teacher, I had other things that I was involved in as well. I had a CIC that I had as well, connections. I was doing events as well. So in terms of transitioning to online, COVID happened. So a lot of people had to, use Teams or Zoom, or I don't think they were using Skype, but Teams and Zooms, Zoom meetings. And that really helped me to understand that I don't have to be in the same country as someone to work with them. I can connect. And I connected with my husband. So he has a page called Best Bars in Ghana, and he also has Best Bars in Africa now. And I spoke with him about partnering, to add a service to what he's already doing. So we then added like a membership program to Best Bars in Ghana, whereas people can come, they purchase their membership card. It was so cute as well, like had their picture on it and everything, and they can go to certain spots and get discounts. He was my first client.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was my first connection in terms of marketing. Not my husband at the time.
She's married to a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, my husband was my first client, and working with him helped me to understand the power of using the internet.
So he's Ghanaian.
He's Ghanaian,
and he was online.
Yes.
When you met him,
his whole business is digital.
Online.
Yeah.
Right. So you can actually do it from wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's new.
Whole business. So what it started off as a blog. So he would go around to places, take pictures and videos and whatnot, and upload them and tag them. That's how it started off as. So Best Bars in Ghana was just like hot spots for people to visit. And how I found it, yeah. See, so you're seeing the connection. You're hearing the connection now. So how I found his page was that I was thinking, okay, the girls I came to Ghana with, at some point I'm going to be coming here often because I want to be in Ghana more. So I need to have a page that I can just see spots I want to visit. So I started typing in on Instagram hot spots in Ghana, places to visit in Ghana, and his page came up. So I followed it, and I just love that you can just see the preview of the venue. He tagged them as well, so that helped me to find places that I wanted to visit.
So how did he come up with this idea? Because it's not very popular in Ghana amongst the locals, right? The diaspora, we kind of do our thing online, but local Ghanaians, they don't really think online is the way forward.
Online is definitely the way forward. Definitely, because I feel like for my husband, he more started off just, it was an idea. He originally was working in the hospitality industry anyway, so that's his domain. And he just thought, okay, let me turn it into something bigger, and he had this vision and he ran with it, and now it's expanded so much that we've got Best Bars in Africa, and it's Africa's it's Africa's first directory for hospitality. So we have all these different restaurants, bars, lounges. We'll also be adding accommodation to it soon. And like booking.com, you can actually book to let's say visit a spot in Ghana. You can make reservations, you can leave reviews as well. So just from something, let's say posting on Instagram, has turned into a whole online platform.
So how did that happen? Let's share part of that journey just a little bit,
in terms of
yeah,
I think you need to interview my husband.
Oh my god, totally. He should totally be here as well. But let's just share just a little bit, because I think it's important that people know that if a local Ghanaian man can come up with a vision and make it happen online, we from the diaspora, we can easily do it too.
Definitely. And I think also with my husband, he had that vision of starting a page, but he always knew that Best Bars in Ghana would be huge. But why he then expanded it to Best Bars in Africa is because he realized that some of the Ghanaians were not taking it seriously, or they didn't see the power of the platform. So he started talking to other business owners in different parts of Africa, and he realized that they're on it. They look for these opportunities and they just get on with it. So that's why he expanded to Best Bars in Africa, and he's got bloggers coming through wanting to work with him, like different people that want to work with him. So it just goes with the mindset. He believed that it was a big business that he had in his hands, and he just allowed himself to flow and to keep expanding. He didn't get comfortable. Like, he hit 10k followers and the engagement is off the roof, and he didn't stay there. He continued to take it to the next level. And even I see other bloggers that's now, like, let's say, walking in his footsteps. They're trying to do the same thing that he's doing. And the thing that I love about my husband, and you see why we're married, is that he's not the kind of person to say, okay, I'm doing it so you can't do it. If you're doing the same thing, okay, let's collaborate, let's connect, let's see how we can make like both our businesses bigger. So it's important to, one, collaborate and connect. I always say collaborate over competition. You don't need to compete with anyone. You can collaborate with people and you can go further and maybe even faster as well. So collaborate with people. Don't have this hands-out mindset of, oh, please help me, or you, like someone owes you something. No, we have access to endless information online. Tap into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The internet is not localized.
And instead of using that time to like scroll and watch, like, let's say, nonsense videos online in terms of like people twerking or like silly memes and whatnot, use that time to follow people who are adding value, like pages like yours, where you're actually sharing information, you're sharing your experience as well. Learn from people, because before I moved to Ghana, I was listening to Eric Thomas, I was listening to Les Brown as well, and I mean, like, religiously every morning, every evening, I was listening to their speakers.
We heard a little bit about Melissa's husband's experience. I think this is really interesting, but I feel like that was more to the local Ghanaian. You can do it, focus, look for things that matter online, and find a way to make things happen. But what about the diaspora? Because, you know, there are so many people relocating to Ghana. You are one of those people. I'm still on the not sidelines. I'm still on the fence, not sure where I am going to be in the future. At the moment, I'm still in London, but I continue coming to Ghana quite a lot, like quite often. And while I'm in Ghana, I work from Ghana online. But how did you transition from that little freedom that you had in London as a supply teacher to then being a full-time online business digital agency owner? How did you transition?
Okay, so when I officially decided to move to Ghana, I was looking at international schools to work at, but then I wasn't getting a response. So my idea was that, okay, I'll work at an international school for a bit, get paid in dollars, and, you know, live this, you know, amazing life. They will give me a car, accommodation. That was my idea. I even have a book that just has a list of schools that I was planning to work at. I sent out so many emails, it's unbelievable. Didn't hear back from a single one.
Wow.
But you know what? Everything works together for a greater good, because I moved to Ghana anyway. And so I moved in January 2021. Obviously, I didn't know anybody at the time. I thought, okay, I want to connect with people. So I thought, let me do events. So I found a page online. They were doing like, he was starting up to do like networking events, but like food buffet, like a buffet kind of style. So I connected with him, and I was doing the marketing. So I started connecting with people and doing the marketing for their businesses, and that helped me to establish this, let's say, this
network
reputation. I'll say network, but also reputation of she's a person you go to if you want to put on a networking event.
Interesting.
So that's how the name The Networking Strategist came up.
Okay, so was it local Ghanaians that you were doing it for, or was it the diaspora?
So the guy who owned the business who was starting up is a local Ghanaian, but it was for the diaspora.
Right.
Yeah, and it was amazing because majority of those who attended the event were from people who I contacted online.
Wow.
And that's where I realized, wow, people are sending me money who do not know me. They're sending me 250 cities, 300 cities to book their packages, even for VIP table. And I'm just like, there's something in this. So I utilized something that I'm passionate about, which is event planning and networking. And I thought, let me extend that service to somebody who needs it, collaborate with them, and let's just do amazing things together.
Let's just touch on the experience that you had in it already, because you told me that you had previously had a fashion business where you were organizing events as well.
Yes.
So you already had some experience.
Yeah, so in terms of event planning, that's something I've been into since I was a teenager.
Right.
Yeah, I love organizing events, especially like my birthdays and things like that. I would do the leaflets and, you know, just plan everything. So it's just something that comes natural to me.
So this is not really online, but you're saying that events is something that you can make money with in Ghana.
Yeah, and this is how you can convert something to online, because I've had clients whereas I've not been in the country, but I've helped them to plan their event, and I've done the marketing for their event as well. So I feel like people need to unlock their minds and not think that you have to be in one place, or, you know, in a place where your clients are, to market or to develop your professionalism. There's amazing things you can do online. You don't have to be there.
So we are talking about the context where essentially you want to be able to make dollars, right? Or pounds.
Or pounds, yeah.
Or euros. But you want to live in Ghana. So we're not just talking about online specifically, where you're literally online.
Yeah.
But we are talking about remote client connection, where it doesn't matter where you are and where they are.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it still matters where you are, because you are organizing events for them in Ghana, right? So you still had to be.
Nope. So when I even organized an event when I was pregnant and I was in the UK, and this is where you have to you have to dominate in your industry, because people who had made payments to attend that event, they thought I was there.
Wow.
And it's only when my husband spoke to a lady and she said, oh yeah, your wife, I didn't know that was your wife and she's really nice, but I didn't see her at the event. And he said, no, she's in the UK. And he just said, like, her presence seemed like she was there.
Wow.
So
I'm literally having like goosebumps.
Goosebumps,
right now.
yeah.
It's amazing. No, I can tell that you are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
You know, from the moment I heard you having that conversation.
I always say to people, I ask people, what would you do for free? Like, what do you love so much that you would do for free? So for me, that's content creating, that's marketing. I can do that day and night, and I love it. Like, I really do love it. It doesn't feel like work to me. So I feel like for my husband, that's what he was creating content for free, and he just turned that into a lucrative business. So yeah,
I think that's so important. Like for me, what that thing was and still is, it's writing.
Yeah.
I love to write, and I love to help people write, and self-publishing is something that I'm super passionate about. Obviously, that's something that you can do from anywhere in the world. I feel like that's a very easy way to enter that online work space. If you have writing skills. If you don't, please don't do it. With that said, I mean, if you have a sharp business mind and you are able to maybe outsource the writing to somebody, you know, connect people, because we are talking about networking as well, right? Anyway, let's not go that deep into it. Writing is one easy way. Copy editing, proofreading. If you have that skill, that's a very easy way to make money online.
Or even if you have the passion or that you want to learn that skill.
Yes, but let's talk about, you know, do we have enough time to learn that skill? Like, if we may not, like, it takes time to. So let's say that you already have that. You know, that's a very easy way. Is it easy? Well, it kind of takes time to build a reputation. And you know, but it's possible. So I feel like that's such an easy way to do this, because you can actually write from anywhere in the world. You don't even need the internet connection. What you need the internet connection for is to connect with your potential clients. So we have events, organizing events online. That's a first for me. I've never heard of that. We've got writing. What are the other things that you can convert into a remote service? Is there anything that you cannot convert into a remote service?
I feel like anything that you cannot convert, anything that you cannot convert into a remote service, you can teach it, and that will become a remote service.
Love it.
So when I say that there is no excuse in terms of how you can generate an income, there really isn't. So even if you are a doctor, you can now do online consultations. Like, as crazy as like COVID was crazy, it was something that just shook the world. But it opened up our eyes to other opportunities. There's certain things that we had to change that we never thought we would even start doing. Like, who would have thought that I would have been teaching online?
Books, e-courses, consultations. These are some of the ways to teach online. But to be able to do that with a profit, to be able to make some money by doing that, you kind of have to have an audience, right? Or clients. So how do you, so let's talk about, you know, because that's a real challenge, to find your audience, to find your clients, to find that first, you know, client, second, third client. How, because, you know, how do you do that? Let's say you've got skills, you are a professional, you are really, really good at what you do, but you are not online yet. So what do you do?
Okay, so for those who are just starting an online business, and let's say you're starting a brand new page, you don't have any followers or anything, first you need to put yourself out there. You need to start a page, create a page. I recommend Instagram, YouTube. These are free platforms. So in terms of having that audience, you start creating content. You start reaching out to people who are in the similar industry with you. You can collaborate with them. You can do go lives. I've had somebody reach out to me to go live with me in the same industry, And after the live, I realized that some of my followers followed her. So whereas like she gained value from, or gave extra audience from connecting with me and doing a live with me, that's how you do it. You collaborate. We don't. We're both doing social media marketing. We don't need to, compete with each other. We collaborate and we gain that value. In that case, she gained value from new followers, but also I gained value because I now have a video where I'm speaking to her audience and to my audience as well. So people who didn't know what I was doing before, they now know because I've done a video. And that was my first live in terms of being one of the organizers. I've been invited to live talks via Instagram, but there's just more like a quick chat session. But this is more like, okay, we both had the flyer on our pages and whatnot. We both knew exactly what we were going to talk about, and it was mutually beneficial. And that's also opened up the door for me to say, you know what, I want to do more lives. So that's online. That's me sharing my expertise online for free. I don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. You guys watching this on YouTube, you don't have to pay for it. I don't have to pay for it. So it's that access. Utilize these free resources to put yourself out there, and you never know who's going to come across your page. So let's say somebody is they want to do consultations. You can do consultations, charge, let's say if you're in Ghana, you can charge 400, 500 cities or whatever you want to charge. If you're in the UK, you can charge, let's say, £50, and it's let's say a 1 hour consultation. You're sharing value. Don't think about, oh, I want clients. No, put the value out there into the universe, connect with the right people, and it will come to you. When I say I have yet to do an ad for the services that I provide, I literally have the vision of what I want to do, and I create the flyer straight away and I post it. There's times I haven't even gotten the venue sorted, but I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. So even the content day I recently organized in Ghana for 5 business owners, I just thought I need content for my business. If I need it, other people will need it. Let's do a content day. And the great thing about it is that we will be in each other's content. So if you've got, let's say, I had someone who has a tea company, we were all like pretending that we're drinking tea. She's now got content of other people utilizing her product, so sometimes you have to think, okay, what do I need, and then provide that need to other people.
I love that.
But it starts with the mind. You have to unlock the mind first and understand that we have been called to be abundant. Like, I'm a believer, so my things, we've been made in the image of God. There's no limits to what God can do. That means there's no limits to what I can do, and we don't even utilize half of our brain power to manifest the things that we're supposed to.
What about those people who are just not social media savvy? I mean, are there people like that these days? I mean, in this world?
There are people like that.
So what options do they have, right? Because there has to be a way for them to enter the social media world. And do you feel like, being able to transition from this real world to the digital world when it comes to making money online, do you feel like it takes time? It's something that takes time, or can it be done quickly, let's say in a month or 2 weeks, and then you are online? And
that's interesting. That is interesting because I believe it depends on the individual. So the reason why it came the reason why it happened, I wouldn't say quickly, but it happened in a nice flow for me, is because I believed in myself. When I moved to Ghana, I didn't know anybody, so I didn't have a network. I have not met anyone through my husband's contacts. I created my own contacts. So how did I do that? Okay, I wanted to connect with people. I helped to put on an event to do that. When the people came, I connected them. I had conversations with them. I did a few other events. So
it makes sense to just not hide behind your computer screen, right? Yeah. Some of the clients that I have, I've actually met them in real places, not online. But then again, some of these relationships translate into remote work for a client. So as much as your work might be online, opportunities are everywhere to connect with people. We met in Ghana, and we are here talking, having this conversation. We are now in London, and
endless opportunities.
I mean, like, you meet people everywhere. So as much as your mindset might be, I'm going to make money online, you have to be aware that you can meet anyone. You can meet your client anywhere you are. It doesn't have to be online.
Thank you. You met me when I was having a conversation with someone who had booked a meeting to have that time with me. So as I said, she booked to have that hour with me, and she paid for the service as well. So you met me when I was in the flow of, really just pouring into somebody, not just about her business, about her mindset. And that's my authentic self. I wasn't trying to be like Melissa, this professional person. I'm just
and
me.
You were not looking to meet someone, you were at work.
Yeah.
I was at work. We were both working.
Exactly.
Well, I was eavesdropping while she was working.
So just me being myself and being true to myself, and not thinking about making money and just trying to get this client to book something else, just giving her value. And this, when I say this value is still lasting in her life, I messaged her the other day and I said to her, listen, I'm so proud of you. And her energy has changed online. So whereas like before, her energy was very much like, I need to book. Now her energy is, this is who I am.
This is who I am.
The right people are coming to me, and it's beautiful to see. So that kind of thing, you can't put a price on it. Like seeing that someone has changed and they're elevated, you cannot put a price on it.
We spoke a little bit about that, isn't it? Just knowing your value.
Yeah,
we were laughing in everything. Absolutely, you have to know that what you are offering has value. If it doesn't have value, don't offer it.
Yes,
if you wouldn't buy it, don't sell it. So I think that's so important. And we were talking about pricing. We were talking about being not being cheap and stuff like that. We're laughing because one of my clients gave me a shout out on the Bayesian TV, and one of the things that he said was that my service was not cheap.
She's really good, and her name is Monika Ribeiro, and I reached out to her, and she immediately, she knew what it was I was looking for. It was not cheap.
I am not trying to be cheap. I am not trying to look for clients who are looking for cheap things, because cheap things are usually not very valuable. So it's again about knowing your value, being able to put a price on it, and obviously not something that's totally out of everyone's reach or your client's reach, because everyone has got a different capacity when it comes to finances. So again, we need to be, I feel like we need to talk about that, because especially as women, sometimes we struggle with putting a price on our services, on what we offer. I don't negotiate my value at this point. Before I used to. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess to be able to make money online, you have to be able to convert your service into something that's remote, but you also need to understand the value of it. You need to understand that what you are teaching potentially is valuable. Sometimes when you're trying to teach something, you're like, oh my god, this is so simple. Like in your mind, it's just easy. It's obvious. But to someone else, it's not. So you have to know that despite the fact that to you it's just so obvious, it's like, 1 + 1 is 2. It's valuable to somebody. And because it's valuable to that person, you can actually put a price on it. And watch your clients, blossom.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's where I was going.